Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. As you can see, I finally pulled the figure trigger after mentioning it in a couple of my other Elite 17 reviews. We've got the Elite 117 Seth freaking Rollins. And of course I say my other Elite 17 reviews as I do have the Axiom and the Rhea Ripley. I do not have the Naomi, the Grayson Waller, or the Roman though. Would love to have the Grayson Waller, and I'm kind of thinking about getting the Naomi, especially with her recent heel turn. She's kind of turned me over as far as my thoughts on her career have gone as far as being a wrestling talent. Of course, thankfully we, don't keep these in the box because the box was a little effed up, but meh. That's besides the point. What is the point is that we get the Seth Rollins out of his plastic prison so we can take a nice gander at this Seth Rollins action figure, and maybe we'll bust out a couple of the mini Seth Rollins I own, because I didn't realize I had a problem until, I bought this one and then I was thinking about how many other Seth Rollins I own. So, yeah, let's get into this action figure review now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, after a little bit of technical difficulties, and my camera overheating, that was the technical difficulty technically, we are actually now finally able to get into this action figure review, and after a little bit of editing, this will be out to you guys. But first things first, of course, he does not come with a whole lot, but we still got to go over the accessories nonetheless. God damn, I can't speak. Anywho, we've got 3 different sets of interchangeable hands. The first set being the Randy Orton posing hands that are already plugged into the figure. Then he comes with a set of pointer finger hands and a set of mic/weapon holding hands. I will say the pointer finger on the one side is a little bent up. I don't know, not the biggest ordeal. Of course, getting into the Seth himself, this so far is a super nice figure. I am really digging this, and I am happy that I did pull the figure trigger and buy this, as I know a few people were saying I should get this, and I just wasn't pulling the trigger on it, because for me personally, I hate when figures come with this. For the moment, it's nice to have it in figure form, but as someone who wants to use this in the Fed, I gotta kind of write the injury in there. It kind of just looks weird if he randomly appears with the back tape on. So I don't know. Of course, I use him as a Shield member currently right now, so it's not like that really matters. But as far as Fed stuff goes, we can talk about that later. When it comes down to the Seth Rollins figure, so far he does pose pretty well with the rest of the modern day elites. Of course, he's got the nice waist swivel, he's got the ab crunch, neither one too tight or loose. The double jointed arms are a nice touch. Of course, you've got the shoulder rotation and the bicep swivel. Ooh, Jesus. You got the wrist articulation, if I can get it to go there, as far as the wrist goes, and you also have the wrist swivel. As far as the legs go, neither one is dealing with D'Lo Brown syndrome, as I call it. Both can pose fairly well, though the one leg is a little stiff. That is fine and dandy, as I can work around that. As you can see, nice and beautiful. He's got upper thigh cut. He's got double jointed pinless knees, which actually bend fairly smooth for pinless joints. He has ankle articulation, aka ankle rotation, and both the foot and the ankle itself, I just can't really seem to get the ankle itself to move. There we go. I got it to be able to move on the one side, and then the foot rotates, as you can see there. And then we've got some Ultimate Edition toe articulation. If my camera would focus there, you can see that as well. And either way, this figure is just a fairly nice little figure to go around. But one thing it is sadly missing is the World Heavyweight Championship that you can clearly see on the back of the box. So I don't know why they didn't include this. Of course, mine does not have the SR side plates. I threw the NXT Championship side plates on there just to kind of have some plain side plates, because they kind of look similar enough, though the gold is a bit off, as you can see. You can really see it on camera, but meh, whatever. Anywho, why don't we maybe get this Seth Rollins all posed up, and we can kind of just go over the Seth Rollins and everything we like and don't like about the figure. Alrighty, you guys, after taking 5 years, 72 hours just to set this Seth Rollins setup, I can definitely say I am fairly happy when it comes to my Seth Rollins collection. I didn't even realize that my Seth Rollins collection was this big until now, no diddy, just because of the fact that, well, if you haven't started counting them already, I want to say I have 12 just sitting here right now alone. Of course, there are many other Seth Rollins that I could own, many other Seth Rollins I would love to own. Technically, if you want to count basics, here's another one right here, but I don't like to count basics. Yeah, that's fine. I don't like to count basics. So altogether, elites and the one ultimate I do own. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 elites. And, well, 11 elites and 1 ultimate. That's crazy to me, just because I don't think I own this much of anybody else. Though I would love to own this many RVDs, but I don't think they even have that many RVDs out in elite form. At least not yet. Plus, I still gotta track a couple of them down at this rate, because realistically, I'm never gonna fucking find them in stores. Especially not a couple of them now. But anywho, when it comes down to it at the end of the day, this new Seth Rollins here in the collection, I am digging it. It may be my favorite Seth Rollins here in the collection, honestly. Just purely based off of gear alone. Of course, I do have a custom Seth Rollins that was made out of his, 2014 heel turn. The first, big gear he wore, which was, black and gray. Anywho, I turned that into a blue and gray attire, so if you are actually curious, just gonna pop that into on-screen real quick. Boom. I think it looks pretty clean. Random Seth Rollins head, so it doesn't really matter in my opinion. But yeah, I'm definitely super happy with this Rollins. It poses well, it feels well in hand, and honestly, the back tape doesn't really bother me as much when you know why it's there and all that kind of stuff. But I definitely do wish that we could get maybe a version of this attire, or maybe he re-wears this attire again so we can get a variation on it with no back tape. But after all that being said, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would I rank this Seth Rollins? Honestly, I am going to give this bad boy a solid 8.5 out of 10. My only gripes are the accessories. Where are the entrance codes? Where's the World Heavyweight Championship I have displayed right here? We didn't get either one of those two kind of things. Hell, I gladly would have taken a t-shirt even if it wasn't accurate. Fuck it. Just to have something in with this pack. Hell, give me a head scan for Drew McIntyre at that rate, or an extra head scan for Seth. God, I don't know, the accessories were just lacking very heavy on this, and I think that's why I didn't pull the trigger on this for the longest time. But I said, fuck it, let's do it, and I am not displeased, though I kind of wish there was a little bit more to this. So 8.5 out of 10, damn near perfect, but no cigar, not close enough. So when it came, no Diddy there as well. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I give them an 8.5 out of 10. Well, we gotta rank them like the Dave Meltzer star scale. So what would I give this figure on a scale of 1 to 5 stars? Well, I gave them an 8.5 out of 10. So I guess a solid 4 out of 5 stars should do. 4.5 is essentially like a 9.5 territory. So I think the good solid 4 works for this Rollins here. And if you disagree, well, it is my opinion after all. So your figure will more than likely feel different, maybe better or worse once you get it in hand. And that will all depend on how you rank your figure once you get it in hand. Either way, that doesn't really matter though. What does matter is if you guys would like to, feel free to, like the video. If you guys would like to like the video, feel free to do that. But if you guys didn't, womp womp, I guess. But if you guys did, that's great and all. But what would also be great is if you guys could maybe consider checking out some of my other action figure reviews or action figure content, such as the new Jacob Fatu action figure review I just posted. We've got the final match of night 3 for the United Kingdom tour being Malachi versus Cody. We've got the Tongans being reviewed, or Gorillas of Destiny. We've got the Coliseum Collection 2-pack of Bam Bam and Big Boss Man. The Ultimate Edition of Seth Rollins review. We've got another pig fed match. We've got plenty of things here. Let me not load your ear up full of random information and shit that you don't care about, though we do also do unboxings too. We've got a lot of different shit, not just for me, but for you too, because after all, it wouldn't be as good of a channel if it wasn't for you guys, or well, for you guys I guess I should say. But yeah, either way, the last thing I'm gonna ask, if you guys can't do either one of those two, if you already are, great, but if you haven't yet and you guys could, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. We are on that grind to 400 subs, the good old 4, and well, we're only 2 subs away. So if you guys could, feel free to share this with whoever so we can reach 400. And then on top of reaching 400, maybe we can carry a little forward, and then we can shoot to the moon and get to that 500,000 sub marker, aka 500. Either way, thank you all for watching. Have a good rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone. I just know I've got to work tonight, sadly. So womp womp for my fucking dreams of getting a good night's sleep, as I roughly can get about 4.5 hours right now if I go to bed right now after I get done reviewing this. But well, I don't know, I still gotta take action figure shots for this action figure. But yeah, I digress. Have a good rest of your night, you guys. Deuces, ooses, yeet.